Trump famously pulled out of the Paris agreements reached in 2015, and he's gone on to repeatedly refer to climate change as a hoax. Last week, speaking at the COP29 summit in Baku, Prime Minister Davis expressed some trepidation about the potential impact of the new administration, but told nations the issue not be put on the back burner because of changing political tides. Today, Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrell Ramming, assured, with or without Trump's support, the Bahamas and many other nations remain committed to this fight.
He's concerned that political change sometimes is associated with change of policy. Obviously, the elephant in the room is that the United States recently had a government change in administration, is going to undergo a process of change in administration. It's no secret that the Trump administration has a different posture on the issue of climate change. The Prime Minister has been very clear that the consequences of election changes should not influence the fight against climate change.
While not surprising, a new report from United States government agency is quite stunning. It's well known that most of the guns entering this country illegally come via the U.S. But this latest report is providing insight on just how high the volume of illegal guns are getting in. And tonight, we also hear reaction to these findings from the Prime Minister's Communication Director. Here's Jonquel Jones.
The recently released data from the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives show that 85% of recovered guns in the Bahamas from 2018 to 2022 were traced to a U.S. retail buyer, making this the country with the highest percentage of recovered firearms linked to the U.S. in the region. Further, the report cites that 45% of these traffic guns could be sourced back to an initial retail in the U.S., with most sales originating in Florida, Texas, and Georgia. Today, Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrell Ramming, insisted the Davis administration wasn't caught off guard by the report.
Are we surprised that number? No. I think that there's a strong correlation between the flow of illegal weapons in the Bahamas and violent crimes on our streets. Are we making progress on the issue? Yes, we are.
The report notes these guns are coming into the country concealed in large items such as automobiles and televisions, or they are being deconstructed into smaller parts, hidden in items like cereal boxes and bags of rice, then reassembled here in the country. While this concerns him, Ramming believes the administration's efforts in curbing the situation are working, and he maintains that the government works closely with its American counterparts, a partnership that is yielding positive returns, he says.
The intelligence and the partnership and the advocacy from the Prime Minister at the highest levels of Vice President Harris, you're seeing this level of commitment by the United States and the Bahamas to make sure that the sharing of intelligence help us to prevent the smuggling.
The data reveal that over a 5-year period, that's between 2018 to 2023, 3,000 firearms were illegally exported to the Bahamas. Working with the U.S. has not stopped the Bahamas from joining a class action lawsuit against U.S. gun manufacturers filed by Mexico.
Obviously, it is a very contentious issue in the United States. But the position of the Prime Minister has always maintained that whilst Americans have the rights to bear arms, they don't have the right to traffic those arms to the Bahamas.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jonquel Jones.
From the Daily Crime Report, police are searching for suspects involved in an alleged armed robbery that occurred at a business establishment located off Tanique Williams-Darling Highway yesterday morning. Police report that 2 men exited a burgundy Japanese model vehicle around 7:30 a.m. and approached an employee outside the establishment. One of the suspects, armed with a firearm, forced the employee into the office where they stole a sum of cash from the business. The culprits then left the scene in the vehicle, heading south on Fire Trail Road. Anyone with information on this armed robbery is urged to contact 911, 919, or the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991. Additionally, anonymous tips are welcomed through Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. In 2016, the Correctional Services Act was passed, legislation to create a Bahamas Department of Corrections. Nearly 10 years later, the expansive Fox Hill property is still classified as a prison. And this as officials await certification of housing units.
We're almost there. It's for the toilets to be put into the remand center and for segregation cells in the juvenile detention center and the female residence unit. And then we will be able to have in this country for the first time accredited correctional housing facilities. And you deserve applause for that, because it's not just the buildings that need to be certified, it's also the staff. So the American Correctional Association is also evaluating you. And if those are the biggest issues they've drawn to our attention.
As its commissioner put it, BDOC's last year miserably failed its accreditation with the ACA, noting a variety of concerns, adding that the Fox Hill facility must have proper procedures in place to have a correctional facility. National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, is confident the Davis administration will accomplish the goal, as much primarily to address overcrowding and improve working conditions. In the case of inmates, Monroe holds that they are to pay for the cost of their incarceration.
If they're given the opportunity to work, and in order not to traffic them, they will be paid. And so you may be alarmed that $15, $30 is small money, but we're giving them 3 meals a day. We're going to improve the quality of that as well, eh? There's a service on the way for that, and we are paying for them their housing. And so it is my view that to be held accountable, the public should not pay for your incarceration, and we're moving closer and closer to that goal.
Still to come, junior Junkanooers awarded. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in a moment.
Some things that are undeniably Bahamian. A good count salad, Junkanoo, the way we worship, the way we take care of one another, all undeniably Bahamian. And right in the midst of our iconic things, places, and people is Commonwealth Bank. Increasing access, sponsoring dreams, working alongside Bahamians to increase the quality of their lives for more than 60 years. Commonwealth Bank, nothing more than being Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Chapter One Bookstore at University of the Bahamas believes in the power of words. They have your next great adventure or that affordable textbook you need. You can go anywhere with a good book. To the library, to have coffee in a cafe, to the pool, to a cozy chair at home. And when you finish your book, you can browse for more good books from Chapter One. Chapter One Bookstore, open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., or shop online all day, every day at chapteronebooks.store.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
Bahamasair's direct route expansion into Montego Bay, Jamaica is expected to deliver huge returns in terms of boosting multi-destination tourism in the region. This according to Jamaica's Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett, as he brought remarks at a ceremony at Sangster International Airport in Mo Bay, marking the national flag carrier's inaugural flight to that destination yesterday.
So the hope of enabling multi-destination tourism is being realized with an addition of this particular arrangement that we are inaugurating today. So I'm excited about the prospects of bringing the Caribbean closer together, but more importantly, connecting the Caribbean with the rest of the world.
Bahamasair's Managing Director Tracy Cooper also shares the view that this expansion into Jamaica is a huge gain for the country.
Apart from just the multi-tourism destination, the Bahamas does have a Jamaican diaspora, and we do have Bahamians who want to travel to Jamaica from time to time for business and other matters. And so we see this as just a natural bridge that hopefully would be expanding and will bring the returns expected.
The significant role men play in our society will be highlighted tomorrow during International Men's Day. The all-male celebration encourages men to teach boys in their lives their values, character, and the responsibilities of being a man. The Bahamas International Men's Day Committee will be promoting positive role models while improving gender relations and equality to eliminate discrimination against men. Among some of the activities founding member David Williams told us include an award ceremony at Trinity Seventh-day Adventist Church on Penny Savings Lane.
We want to have men into the school speaking to other young boys. Then Tuesday night, we're going to have, to me, which is the most important thing, and that is what we call Prayer in the Square, Rossin Square. Partnership with the Bahamas Public Prayer Meeting and a number of other churches. I want to invite as much men as possible. We're inviting the ladies. We love our ladies, but we're inviting the men to come out, be in the forefront, because for anything to start, it must begin with looking to Christ and prayer.
The senior male mentor is grateful for his experiences as a young man in the Bahamas, for understanding the real role men play across the country.
I firmly believe had then we as a people established National Youth Service, which they said was Penland's Army then, I honestly believe, I'm convicted, we would not have had the situation we are in today. Classic example, in the prison, in the Bahamas Department of Corrections booklet, 70% of the men incarcerated today is under the age of 35. We have a serious crisis in this country. These are our future leaders. So we don't do our part right now. What can happen 10, 15, 20 years from now?
The junior Junkanoo results are out. CV Bethel High School secured top honors in the senior high division. CH Reeves first place for the junior high division, and Lyford Key International School winners of the all-age division. Referencing the rich Junkanoo history taught to the students at Lyford Key International School, music teacher Elizabeth Taylor dispelled the myth that it is the school's first junior Junkanoo win.
This is our 5th year winning. We took a break after the 2020 Junkanoo Parade where we won that one. Then COVID came, and so this is our first time back since then. But we are no stranger to winning. We work hard.
CV Bethel Senior High School Junkanoo coach Sune Russell says their success in the parade had a lot to do with the Junkanooer and former student turned teacher Alonzo Russell coming back to help.
We just collaborated because he's always been that cultural person, and myself as well, having represented the Bahamas a few times in Carafesta. And so we decided to just bring that heritage at CV Bethel. We just wanted to include culture in being an aspect of the Performing Arts Department at CV Bethel Senior High School.
Imagine this, a comedy production leads to $80,000 in funding for local charities. Those are jokes with more than just laughs, but a charitable benefit. Our Matea Cunningham has that story.
Hearts were filled with immense gratitude as Sterling Global donated $80,000 to 4 local charities. The Bahamas Feeding Network, Ranfurly Home for Children, the Bahamas National Trust, and Lend a Hand each received $20,000, thanks to the generosity of Heather and David Kasoy.
The most worthy cause are helping those people get out of the lower depths of what might seem to be society and come up and be successful, like many people I've known. And this just gives these people a chance, because a lot of these people, you can't study, you can't do things if you're hungry, number 1. Okay? If you don't have guidance, number 2. And our charities really focus on these things.
The funds were raised through the comedic production Screwball Comedy, spearheaded by Heather Kasoy, which brought the community together for laughter and a great cause.
But Screwball Comedy was set in the 40s, so it was different, and it was very funny and very well written, and I put it on with complete confidence that everybody would absolutely love it, and they did. And that showed in the funds that we were able to raise for you, so I'm very happy with it all. I couldn't say one negative thing.
These organizations don't just leave here today with funding, but with an opportunity to create an even greater impact in their communities. For the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, I'm Matea Cunningham.
Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Up in sports for tonight, Bahamas Softball Federation's national championships wrapped up. We'll tell you who won just ahead in sports.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long, yet the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody, a late night edition. Let's get you started with some softball. Bahamas Softball Federation rounded out its national championship invitational this past weekend with Eleuthera taking home the honors on the ladies' side, getting by IBAP in easy fashion. Their manager, Ryan Ninja Neely, talked about the victory afterwards.
When we came here to this tournament, I told the ladies, we're here for one thing, take one game at a time. And we did that. We lost one game. The same team that we just beat for the championship. And I told them the next time we see them, we can put something on them.
On the men's side, it would be the Eleuthera squad up against the Cybertech Blue Marlins. Eleuthera jumping out early with a 2- or 3-run homer in the third inning. They took a 5-0 lead. Back would come the Marlins as they scored 3 in the fourth on a home run of their own and then tacked on a few more to tie the game at 5. Keith Ron Moss would come up big double to punch home the winning run here. Marlins win it 13-6. Diego Hutchison, team manager, says they had confidence they could come back after trailing early on.
Listen to me, this team has the best offense along with the best defense in this country. We proved it tonight. We proved it a few weeks ago, and we're going to continue to prove it.
Jonquel Jones' triumphant return to home soil continued today as she paid a visit to the office of the Prime Minister, part of her triumphant return once again after winning the WNBA championship and the championship MVP. Charles Fisher has more.
A handshake unopposed, Jonquel towering over the nation's chief, the Honorable Philip Davis, who was pleased to welcome the WNBA champ and MVP.
Continue making us proud. It's someone that we ought to be lifting up always. We had to celebrate you, celebrate your accomplishment, which has been inspiring to all of us. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us such joy.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I am an avid sports fan myself, particularly those who are excelling. I find great pride and joy in watching and getting that good feelings of seeing a Bahamian excel. Jonquel Jones is no exception to my following.
Jonquel grateful for all the support she has received on her return home.
It's really been a pleasure to be welcomed, to be received, to be seen, and we've been having a great time, and just looking forward to just being in Nassau and seeing all of the things that's been happening here and all of the ways that people have been celebrating. But yeah, thank you so much to you, your staff, and everybody that's been involved, because the moment was not missed. We've been celebrating. Everything has been top notch. And I just, like I said, I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to be able to come home and do this, to see my people, to give back to my people, and then to be appreciated by my people.
Also singing Jones' praise was the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
We are very proud of you and your achievements, and we look forward to you bringing us many, many more championships, whether it's at Liberty or anywhere else.
MVP Jones hoping that one day Bahamians can experience the joy of a WNBA game in New York.
The gym and the energy is amazing, and it's something that I really would want, if possible, every Bahamian to experience and see the level of women's sports and the appreciation and just the fandom and the energy in that stadium is amazing.
Looking forward to another WNBA championship and a bigger celebration next year. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Hey, that's it. To check on sports, we're here on this Monday. Of course, we have our Monday weather forecast just ahead. Stay with us.
Our company offers a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done, but at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
Ready to score big on unbeatable savings? Tune into What's Trending's Deals and Steals with Ace Hardware every Wednesday at 6 p.m. starting in November. Save on items from power tools to paint, lawn care to Christmas decor. They've got the essentials you need to tackle any project at prices that can't be beat. Dive into their special offers up to 50% off select items. Need a new grill for those backyard barbecues? How about a fresh coat of paint to revamp your space? They've got you covered. That's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. starting in November. Don't miss out on Deals and Steals with Ace Hardware.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good night, Basil.
Good night, Royston. High pressure remains in control of our weather, but that will not be for very long as we anticipate a strong cold front to push into the area early Thursday afternoon, and that will usher in some nice chilly temperatures over the weekend. Temperatures around the islands, 74 degrees in Marshall, Babaco, Greenville, Key, and in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, also at 74 degrees, 79 in Allenstown, Bimini. Hopper Island, 76 degrees. Rock, Sandy Lucha, 75. Fresh Creek in Central Andros, 77. Kemp Space out Andros, Black Point, Exuma at 76. Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, 72. Georgetown, Exuma, 75 degrees. 75 also on Ragged Island, Clarence, San Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 78. Acklands and Matchitown, Inagua, 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 77 degrees. Satellite pictures showing some low-level cloudiness over the northwest Bahamas, and that will evaporate during the course of the night as we expect clearing skies to take place as we go into our forecast. Partly cloudy, 73 degrees for your low temperature, and then tomorrow you can expect partly sunny and very pleasant conditions. High temperature tomorrow, 81 degrees. Extended weather forecast. That beautiful weather will be with us right into Wednesday, but come Thursday. This is when the skies darken up again. Showers and thunderstorms in the mix as that front boundary pushes through. And by late afternoon, we'll start to see those temperatures falling, and they will get into the 60s. We're going to see some low 60s as we head into the weekend, and those daytime temperatures in the 70s. So some very chilly temperatures working its way into our forecast over the weekend. Royston.
Thanks, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
It's time to grow your church. Time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas, into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
I have been coming to this island since I was 12 years old. It didn't take me long to realize the rich history it has here. When I bought this island in 2018, I fulfilled a lifelong dream. The goal is not only to preserve the memories I made over those years, but to make new ones and to give others the opportunity to do the same. As we go through this process, it has become clear to me, we aren't just rebuilding an island, we're reviving a legend.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for the Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
We've heard you. We know you're tired of the reruns. We're coming back, bigger and better, on The Legal Brief. I'm your host, Ramona Farquharson. Stay tuned.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.
And the oil lasted for 8 days, which was a miracle. And so, to celebrate, we have the Festival of Lights.
I thought that was called Hanukkah.
Hanukkah is Hebrew for Festival of Lights.
Are you sure about that?
No. But I am so excited because it's Morgan's first holiday. And how symbolic that Hanukkah and Christmas fall on the same day this year. And how moving that Tony and Todd